Well,
Now. All right, boys and girls, moms and dads, children of all ages, welcome to the 20th. Can you believe it? The 20th episode of The Kidders, starring our funny folks from around the land. First of all, straight just back, I guess, from the Pierogi Festival, Tim Slagle in Indiana.
hey, where it's not even 70 degrees, you know. Cubs fans are excited because this is as my friend Bob Jacobowski said, this is the closest they're ever going to get to October baseball.
And the head nun from Nuns for Fun, it's Vicky Quaddy. How you doing, Vicky?
I'm doing just fine, but I don't know about that Cubs. It's the Cubs' year. The Cubs are going to shine in, well, 69.
And it's that kind of thinking that got Obama elected. So I went to the bicycle. Downers Grove had a Criterion bicycle race, and they blocked off a bunch of streets to make a course and everything. And I got to tell you, I thought before this, soccer was the most boring thing I ever saw. Oh man. It's like NASCAR without the sound. You know, it's just really bad.
Yeah, well, you wonder why wine is so popular in France, huh? It's all soccer and bicycle races.
All right, we got some wacky stories that happen in the news. Let's start it out with Florida because everything stupid comes out of Florida. And down there, Doc's Beach House in Bonita Beach experienced a robbery. Apparently, two naked men, one man in his underpants, stole 60 hamburgers. They broke in and they took off their underpants and they stole 60 hamburgers and a case of red peppers. And then they kind of leaked the red peppers on their way down the beach, so there was an easy trail to follow, and they were also caught on video surveillance. So,
right now they're wanted for felonious assault of a hamburger. Who puts red peppers on a hamburger?
And what about you, Vicky?
Well, you know, they took that term, "you deserve a break today," a little too literally.
Well, you know, the thing is if you're naked, where are you going? You don't have pockets. Where are you going to put the hamburgers? I could understand if they knocked over, you know, like a donut shop.
Yeah, apparently they thought they stole a case of sausage, too, before they looked a little closer at the surveillance tapes.
All right, here we go. From wacky Florida, we go to Minden, Nevada. I have never been to Minden, Nevada. I don't know exactly where it is, but Helen Walsh is a psychic in Minden, Nevada, and she was arrested for attempting to obtain money under false pretenses. Apparently, there were complaints. An undercover cop went in there. He paid $25 for a tarot card reading, and Helen said, "Ooh, your wife's cheating on you. For $700, I can make that go away." And he gave her money, and she gave him 3 long stem roses and a bag of spiritual karma cleanser. So, should someone really be arrested for that?
Well, you know, you could tell she wasn't a real psychic when they knocked on the door. She said, "Who's there?"
And Vicky, what do you think?
Well, unfortunately, you can get arrested for that, and she's going to be going to jail for a spell.
Well, what I wanted to do is... Oh, sorry, I didn't pick up on the spell thing. All right. Now I don't have a topper. All right. Moving on to our next one. Let's go to Enid, Oklahoma. Enid, famous because, of course, its frequent appearance in crossword puzzles. And over there, Lynette Ray Sampson, she thought, you know, she's a methamphetamine user, and she thought that her latest supply was tainted, was stepped on, was tampered with. And so, you know, who do you call when something like that happens? She called the police and said her ice was laced with something. And so they sent a policeman to her house, and she showed him where she hid all her different bags of meth, and now she could be sentenced for up to 10 years just for being honest.
Hey, somebody put cold medicine in my brake fluid.
Vicky, what do you think?
Yeah. Too bad it wasn't laced with common sense.
See, that's why you're our spiritual advisor. Right? You kids out there watching this for the first time, remember that. Common sense. Yeah. All right, finally, we got, this is the beauty story of the week, which was sent to us by our friend Dobie Maxwell, and we wish him well wherever he happens to be. And he sent us this story which happened, we started in the land of the weird in Florida. We end up there in the land of the weird up north, Appleton, Wisconsin. And Dennis Mitchell is a 45-year-old man there, and he went to a lingerie night at the Eager Beaver Bar. Which seems like a triple redundancy to me. On lingerie night, the bartenders and all, they just dress in lingerie, and he goes there every Thursday, and apparently he was arrested because he tried to hit on one of the bartenders, and I mean that in a literal way. He followed her home, put a bag over her head, and tried to assault her, but she was able to get away. But what do you think about the lingerie show? I mean, no pun intended. What do you think of the lingerie show as a whole?
As a whole? I think that was directed at you.
I'm the whole. Now, if you kids are watching, you don't do this. You keep it clean.
It is X-rated.
I can't really blame him. I mean, come on. What guy in Wisconsin doesn't want his very own bartender?
What guy doesn't have one? That's how big a loser this guy was. Vicky, what do you think of the concept of lingerie night?
Well, did you take a look at what the lingerie looked like? It looked a little bit like, something you might wear in the winter to keep a little bit warm. I mean, I think this bar needs to have another theme night. It's like Jailhouse Rock Night. All the patrons come dressed in stripes.
Oh, there you go. The regular crowd wanders in.
Yeah, the sexy lingerie in Wisconsin are the ones with the drop seat.
and they're in camouflage, so you can't even see them when they're there. The thing I found interesting was he went there on Thursday. According to this wait a minute, according to this report, the guy lives at the Fox Valley Warming Shelter, which doesn't really sound like permanent housing. Been there for 3 months, and every Thursday he goes to the Eager Beaver Bar. So at least, he's got a life.
Fox Valley Warming Center sounds like a place where you could have a lingerie show as well. It sounds like another name for a bar. Going to Fox Valley for a little warming.
I wasted my time at the Eager Beaver. Wasn't that eager? All right, Vicky, anything else you wanted to chime in amongst this nonsense?
Well, I think they need to change the name of the bar, clearly. A little less eager.
Just a little less what, beaver?
A little less eager, maybe a little less beaver.
A little less
the reluctant beaver bar.
We're not that eager, but we are available, Beaver Bar. So, all right. Before we close out, we are closing out. We have our weekly question of the week, and as you may have heard, there is talk in politics of President Obama possibly being impeached. If that were to happen, he'd be only the third president in U.S. history to face impeachment. And I'm wondering, I'm not saying whether I'm for it or against it, but there's a lot of other people I think could also be impeached. Who would you, if you had the chance, who would you impeach?
I thought the entire state of Georgia, but that would actually be unpeachment.
and Vicky, who would you impeach?
Well, you know what? I gave this a lot of thought, and I go along with the Pope. Pope Francis says, impeach anybody who's in power and making too much money. I'd impeach the whole lot of them.
Wow, that's a very socialistic thing of you to say. Did the Pope say that? The Pope said to impeach anybody?
I've extrapolated.
Well, there's another word you kids can look up on Google once you're done watching this. The list is so long as to who to impeach. I'm not really sure where I would start, but I think probably Jerry Taft on ABC News, because he's the only fat white guy left on the news, and I think it's time for him to be replaced with a young hottie. That said, where's everybody working? What are you doing this week coming up?
I'll be in the North Woods of Wisconsin this week.
Yeah, hey there. All right, bring back
a lingerie show.
On Moose. And Vicki, what about you? Same place, same time?
I'm on stage at the Royal George Theater this weekend in Chicago, 312-988-9000.
All righty, and you folks can see me right back here on Friday or on YouTube with the Friday Funnies. And that being said, everybody have a the music. Hold on, just kill a little time. Talk amongst yourselves. We spent so much for this closing music that we wanted to make sure we used it. So, thank you all for joining us. This has been The Kidders. See us next Monday. No matter what you're doing, that's more important.